Purdue to the limit Yale. Their head coach is James Jones. His younger brother is Joe Jones, and he's coaching Boston University. And one other note.
We do that a lot. That time, Bilodeau, first play of the game, he was on the roll to the rim, didn't finish the play. See, this is what I was expecting. UCLA to force the issue a little bit. Daly running after the ball handler.
Alexander hits the three, something.
That's what happens. If they can get out of that trap, you find it opposite side, they make the three.
There's Eric Daly Jr. drawing the foul, and he'll go to the line. He played some 5 last year as a freshman at Oklahoma State. That's not the plan for him this year. Able to save it to Stefanovic. Johnson again with the rebound. Bilodeau to clean it up.
What an unselfish play by Kobe Johnson. Gets two
and then rebounded by William Kyle.
Will Kyle in the game. That's his job. Rebound, run, and do this. Dunk.
Oh!
Well, here's the thing, guy, because we're early in the season, and we've talked about how we have all these good players now at UCLA.
Defty, who had the block on the other end with the nice finish.
Again, I said this right off the top. This Clark pass on the last possession, which really hurt him against New Mexico. Just unforced errors in the half-court offense, throwing it to the other team as Kobe Johnson knocks down. But he can knock down a three, and he can make plays offensively.
Daly to Clark. And the Terriers need a timeout.
Well, it's easy to play free when you're getting turnovers and you got numbers. And they had numbers that time. Sky Clark. I think he's a perfect example of what we're talking about with Mick Cronin. If Kyle gets a foul. Look, Dominic Harris
figured to be a good shooting team collectively, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's strong enough to guard certain fives, but he can for sure guard 1 through 4.
Sebastian Mack forces his way inside.
That's what he rest of the way to try and do that. 21 turnovers on Friday night against New Mexico.
Sebastian Mack, a shake and a drain.
That's what has to. Ball pressure has been really good from UCLA here early. Just better offense from that.
Ethan Oklosa and Otto Landrum. They're hoping to get back at some point. There's another turnover, and it's the 3rd travel for the Bruins. That one, quick pass, but a little miscommunication on who the receiver was. And here comes Abdullah. Tough shot, and he makes it.
Another uncharacteristic by Kyle.
Bruins have dominated the glass.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Stefanovic.
No doubt. If teams are going to double him, UCLA, it's like target practice because somebody's open. If you move the ball and get it to the right guy, make the extra pass.
The recruit. A little scramble creates an open look for Alexander, who cashes it in, his 2nd of the night.
They've given up a few.
And now a turnover. 10 in the game for UCLA, and then a foul committed by Kobe Johnson.
Really thin last year.
He's positioned inside and then gets pushed out and fouled by Malcolm.
Guys, whether you're posting up, whether you're trying to get a rebound, can your base do?
And he gets both. Nice touch. And now
he has done a nice job handling this trapping defense of UCLA.
Well, the Bruins got it to 14 early, and it felt like it was a foul on Mack.
Issue in one game, it's usually fixed the next game. And so
he says it just can't happen that fast.
Maybe. You know, with no Dylan Andrews. Look, I think this. I think the more you change defenses and mix defenses up, the better it is.
From the line this year. And he earns a 2nd. And a one-time basketball coach. UCLA 3 of 9 from 3 tonight. Nice cut on the back door from McNair for the dunk.
Linfield Chris, hopefully in the same vicinity. It's not bad to come to California in November either.
Nope, they stayed at the beach after that San Diego game. They
the BU roster, so I think that's part of it. A lot of these coaches try and schedule your foreign trip instead.
He makes both free throws.
Now you're in trouble.
First free throw of the night. And that's denied by Kyle.
That's what William Kyle is here to do. That right there. Weak side defender, send it back.
And Mack can't spin it in, but Kyle. That -4 prescription at the rim.
You're right.
Doesn't factor in. Bilodeau with the jab, but he can't finish.
Well, they talked a lot about that with Bilodeau and Chris Rastatter about the coach's box. They made a big point of emphasis on onto the floor. I think this year that's going to be an automatic 10. All right, 20 FGAs in a game. That'll work.
Shot clock long. Kobe Johnson steals it. And Johnson goes in for the layup.
Going to double a player. And so I think that is more of like a center fielder kind of guy, disrupting plays for UCLA than Friday night, obviously.
Ben Roy with Perry all over, and Perry commits the foul.
Tap, but UCLA turned him over, got some easy ones. Do they?
And we'll see what the.
He's now the focal point of the opposition's defense, and they're not just going to watch him and let him score.
Stefanovic is stroking it from the outside tonight. That's his third. Aggressively saying you don't want to be critical of a call.
Well, more precisely, that it was the wrong call.
Yeah, that's right. Bilodeau the rebound.
I'd rather that be said than what I said before,
which was,
that's a horrible call, that's bad, you missed that. You just say, let's move on, instead of saying anything. First coming, did a nice job of it on the last possession.
There's a turnover created and a run out for Daly.
Defense to offense.
3 steals for Kobe Johnson tonight. Nobley had it poked away.
The game starts. Sometimes you've created some bad habits of being a little too physical, using your hands too much. And you kind of need to readjust.
Daly now, the intent is to bring the team together.
Well, again, though, it's second game of the year. And a bunch of new guys, and you just have to. The thing is, you don't want to learn what he wants and what he values. And toughness, not turning it over, playing hard, defending, all that stuff. And maybe you didn't do that. I dribbled the ball 3 times. That's how good he was. So that's whatever, 6 points. So the other 35 were, I just caught it. Guys, look at that. Big minutes for the starters.
And we have to say thank you to the great.
I don't think that'll happen. See Bilodeau face up. That's what I was talking about in the first half. You see where he caught that?
Fourth. You know, you go back to the point Brewster takes and hits a 3.
If you're a team like UCLA that has aspirations, they think they can win the Big Ten regular season championship. You can't just gloss over like 2 early season conference games. Something opens up.
Mack tried to get it up, and the reason he wasn't able to connect with Kyle is because he was getting the Stefanovic dunk.
Yeah.
Roy open, but he's too short for the 3. Chimezie the rebound, and he travels. Your record for the most points in Pac-12 history doesn't go into the Big Ten record book.
No.
Bilodeau beats. But he'd be second, right?
But I'm still. BU, I've said it a couple times, wasn't just going to single him up and let him score. That was one of the few times where they didn't bring a second defender and he was able to score. So 23 and 15, but then some nights like tonight where the other team says, look, you're not going to beat us. Other guys are going to have to beat us. And so he can't.
Or as they look currently to you. Like what stands between them
I
and the
think
tournament?
by the top 5 of the Big Ten on paper. I still say on paper because we only played 2 games.
There was at the game that was played here at halftime that nobody watching
the frat
got to see, but it was the fraternity face-off. I don't think there was.
That they called very much. I think it might have been 2-0.
Kyle draws the foul on Baptiste. That's his 3rd. Aggressive move there from. As Kyle makes the free throw.
Like he has tonight.
What do you think about the way he sets it?
We're going to strip it down and start over, and this is how you're going to start over.
Mack with the steal and the layup. Historic plays.
Well, different sport, but I was at Oregon on Friday. On Thursday night, Nebraska volleyball was at Oregon, and I heard
So how do you manage? Talking to the UCLA coaches, it's going to be a work in progress. They're going to figure that out as they go. How do we use that extra day? And
Andrews and Scott Clark are both point guards. So it's really not one primary ball handler and then a secondary. It's two primaries, and whoever has it brings it up. Or
7 minutes remaining now here in regulation. Morrow
up with it. Why are you dribbling?
going hard for the dunk.
He's dribbling so he can dunk it.
And he did. Points in the paint. Brewster.
You see Barr go get there.
Haley almost lost it. And now has the size advantage and draws the foul on Ben Roy. Number up there in the rafters, and you know,
UCLA game or in the past Pac-12 games that he did. And like I said, his enthusiasm for basketball.
it feels cliche to say one of a kind, but it
is
one of a kind. And
original building, but yes, different in a lot of ways. And I thought when they did that 13 years ago, they nailed it. Kind of kept the original.
little odd.
It was weird.
4.5 minutes to go here as Roy hits the three. That's his.
What's the difference between mid-major and high major? Size and athleticism.
And Mara putting that on display right there.
And so, when
they were very patient with Mara, you'd expect the same, but
you just don't mess with groins and hamstrings, especially this early in the season. The last thing you want.
He's on the floor.
Well, another score. I mentioned Andrews struggled on Friday against New Mexico with those 6 turnovers. So we'll see how it plays out. With more good players, there's more competition for minutes.
He is one of those guys getting an opportunity tonight without Dylan Andrews. Mara goes to the baseline hook.
Turnovers is just too many for the way they want to play.
After 21 on Friday, Abdullah off the back rim and a whistle underneath. Foul against Bruins going deeper into the bench. On the floor for BU, and 60 seconds to go here as Nielsen can't connect, and Mara goes way up for the rebound. Here's Baptiste. Good luck. Mara was able to block it and get the rebound. The fans encouraging Seidler to shoot. He's not going to do that. And UCLA with its second 30-point win, 40 over Boston University. Sebastian Mack had 12 points